Thank you for joining us. Today we have an update on the Bearspaw South Feeder Main repair and impacts to citywide water service. We'll be hearing from Mayor Jyoti Gondek, General Manager of Infrastructure Services, Michael Thompson, and Director of Capital Priorities and Investment, Francois Bouchard. We'll hear their remarks and then there will be an opportunity to ask questions after. I'll now turn it over to Mayor Gondek.
Oki, Ambawastich, Tanse, and Dadanistata, everyone. Good afternoon. I'm here with General Manager Michael Thompson and Director Francois Bouchard to tell you that the repair to the Bearspaw South feeder main is progressing quicker than originally anticipated. Thanks to round-the-clock work that's being done by construction crews as well as the advanced planning that was done by city experts, we are expecting construction on the Bearspaw South feeder main to be completed this weekend. That's a week ahead of schedule. This is great news for everyone who has been following the maintenance and repair work, especially the residents and businesses who have had work taking place on the street right in front of their homes and businesses. On behalf of all Calgarians, I would like to thank and congratulate all of the crews and the teams who have been working tirelessly to help secure the safety of our water system. We couldn't have done this without the project management of Graham Construction, along with other contractors who worked right beside our city teams. This new construction timeline means that you will only need to keep conserving water for about 10 more days. That's the time it will take for crews to finish the concrete pours, the backfill, and the paving work on all of the repair sites, as well as the careful filling of pipe plus monitoring of water flow and quality of water testing. We can actually see the finish line now. And if those steps sound familiar, it's the same process that was required after the initial pipe break in June to ensure that we had safe drinking water flowing through the Bearspaw South feeder main. Again, we remain optimistic that September 22nd is the date of lifting water restrictions, but we have to watch for a couple of things. First, the rain may impact the backfilling and the paving work, and second, following all of the repairs, the gradual increase of water flow in the pipe is something that the water team will need to monitor carefully. And when things do return to regular use of water, what will we be doing from there? The independent third-party review that I called for is underway. The experts are being assembled, and we will await their report. Additionally, the city's internal forensic report on this incident, which is a part of the standard operating procedure, is expected to be completed by the end of October. Both of those reviews will provide all of us with the transparency and clarity on what happened, why it happened, and how we can ensure that it does not happen again. And once I have all of that information in hand, I'll be talking with the provincial and federal governments, advocating for more infrastructure funding for Calgary and for all municipalities. As we've seen this year, no city, big or small, is able to escape the effects of aging infrastructure. But we can fix that with stronger collaboration between all three orders of government. And I will make sure that the plans to increase the capacity and resilience in our water system here in Calgary are accelerated. I'm now going to ask General Manager Michael Thompson to walk you through the details of what you can expect to see in the coming 10 days.
Good afternoon, and thank you, Mayor Gondek. As you've just heard, while we're working on these repairs, we have also engaged consultants to provide a detailed forensic report. This will include fulsome results from the pipe diver and soil analysis and structural analysis of the pipe. We anticipate a final report from the consultant by the end of October. Once we have received the final version, we will be able to provide more details on the findings and next steps. Today, I'm happy to share that repairs are now moving into the final stages at most of our remaining repair sites. Teams and contractors have been working around the clock to support an efficient and safe repair. The progress over the past week has been outstanding. We now expect to be able to reopen roads and bring the feeder main back into service sooner than originally anticipated. While there is still a chance the rain could impact timelines, here's what we expect over the coming days. This weekend, we expect to begin pouring concrete at the last repair segment on Site 5 ahead of the original schedule. Over the weekend, portions of 33rd Avenue east of 83rd Street will begin to reopen, and residents will begin to have access to parking on the road in front of their homes. As mentioned yesterday, our next steps will be to finish concrete curbs and gutters, sidewalks, and restoration of driveways and landscaping, which will be ongoing. On Monday, September 16th, we expect to reopen 16th Avenue, though there will still be a few localized lane closures. This is a full week ahead of the original schedule. Sections of 33rd Avenue west of 86th Street will also reopen next week. Also on Monday, we will start filling the feeder main with water, which is the first step in our path to bringing the feeder main back into service. I want to stress that even as we start to complete repairs and reopen roads, we need everyone to help save water until the feeder main is back in service. Restoring water service involves 3 key steps: fill, test, and stabilize. The fill stage, set to begin Monday, will take about 3 days. This is a little longer than last time because we have a longer section of pipe to fill. While we are filling, we will be conducting ongoing water quality tests. You may remember that there was an extra step the last time, flushing the feeder main to remove potential contaminants. We don't need to take that step this time because unlike the catastrophic break in June, the pipe was never opened, so flushing is not needed to ensure water quality. We will have our water samples analyzed in a lab to ensure that water quality meets or exceeds all standards. This will take 24 hours, though if we don't pass the test, we will need to conduct flushing and testing again. Once we have passed the test, we will stabilize the system. This means turning on pumps at the Bearspaw Water Treatment Plant and beginning to open valves to connect the feeder main to the rest of the water distribution system. The stabilize phase should take less than a day. If all goes according to plan, this will mean we can return to normal water use and lift all outdoor water restrictions over the weekend of Saturday, September 21st and Sunday, September 22nd. The team will continue to work 24 hours a day and look for any opportunities to safely speed up progress. Again, I'd like to thank everyone for your continued support and patience as we complete this work. I'd like to particularly acknowledge the impacted residents and businesses in the construction area. We know this has been challenging and we hope the early end to construction offers some relief. I really want to encourage everyone to support businesses in the Bowness and Montgomery area now and as 16th Avenue reopens. I'll now turn it over to Director Bouchard to provide an update on our construction progress and water demand.
Thank you, GM Thompson. Like yesterday, I'm happy to share that we continue to make good progress on both construction and our collective water reductions. Yesterday, our demand was 484 million litres, which is the second day we have been in the green, sustainable zone for water use. I want to thank all Calgarians, businesses, and those in our surrounding communities for your continuing efforts to save water. We are really seeing the difference, and it is a huge relief to our plant operators and the water team. While you have just heard great news that the end of the restrictions is in sight, I want to remind you that until the feeder main is back in service, saving water will still be extremely important. Although the rain outside gives relief to our lawns and gardens, our ability to move drinking water in the system remains challenged. Please keep up with the great work for just a little longer. And now for an update on our construction progress since yesterday. We have completed repairs on 20 of the 21 pipe segments. At sites 1 to 4 at 33rd Avenue Northwest and Shoaldice Park, we have completed all 12 pipe repairs, and we continue to make progress on backfilling and paving. It is important to note that paving activities are weather dependent. Yesterday, we completed backfilling at sites 1 and completed the first stage of paving at sites 2 and 3. Repair work is complete at site 4 in Shoaldice Park, and all equipment has been removed. At site 5, 33rd Avenue Northwest at 86th Street, one remaining excavation is ongoing. At the other 2 segments, concrete pouring is complete and the forms have been removed. Now backfilling activities are underway. At sites 6 to 8 on 16th Avenue, Excavation and concrete pouring are complete. Concrete forms have been removed, and backfilling is in progress. Paving work will follow the backfilling. I will now ask the mayor to come back for closing remarks.
Thank you, Francois. I appreciate everything that you and Michael and your colleagues on the water team will be doing to keep us informed through these regular 2 p.m. updates. Let me also say that I'm very grateful to those of you in Calgary, Airdrie, Chestermere, Strathmore, and Tsuut'ina Nation who found a way to dig just a little bit deeper over the last few days. Our water consumption, as we have heard, has come down from what we were doing on the weekend, and we are now below the water team's recommendation of using no more than 485 million liters a day. Thank you so much for understanding how important this is for the Glenmore Treatment Plant to carry us through the next 10 days. And if you have a few minutes and are interested in hearing directly from people like John and Patrick who lead the work at that plant, there's a great video on calgary.ca as well as the city's social media channels that shows you the people, the pumps, and the pipes that are keeping us going while the Bearspaw South feeder main is undergoing important repair. The fact that we are a big city on 2 small rivers means that water stewardship is a part of living here. And a great example is the work at the Botanical Gardens of Silver Springs. I had the opportunity to catch up with the folks there yesterday as they celebrated their hard work over the summer in the midst of water restrictions. The feeder main break earlier this year brought water use into sharp focus for the organizers and volunteers at those botanical gardens. They told me about how they immediately started looking at how they were using water, and they had to find new sources of water to keep up the vegetation. These amazing volunteers, quite often retirees, trucked in water from outside the city to keep their operation going in early days. And they made full use of the non-potable water that the city made available later at Baker Park. The Aquanauts, as they call themselves at Silver Springs, also expanded their 3 cubic meter tanks to double that number, complementing those with a utility vehicle to help get water around. Dr. June Bergman and her team said that the lessons they learned earlier this year will guide their operations well into the future. They told me how they value water as even more of a precious resource from what they've been through, and their new practices have helped this special community place look as beautiful and as lush as ever. If you happen to have the chance, you should take some time to visit the Botanical Gardens at Silver Springs. It's truly a community space with so much heart. We've all taken significant steps to reduce our water usage since June, when we learned more about how precious our water supply is. Steps like collecting water while waiting for the tap or shower to get hot and then using that water to water the plants, or building a playlist of short songs to use to time your shower. Companies figured out how to produce beverages like beer or pop using less water, and commercial users found ways to use non-potable water instead of treated water. We took steps to reconfigure the city's complex water system to reflow water differently, and we figured out how to increase that flow when one of our 2 treatment facilities isn't working at full capacity. These are valuable steps that kept water flowing to our taps throughout the Calgary region. And we took those steps together, demonstrating again that community action is something that we believe in firmly. With that, I'll pass things along to Jamie, who will field questions from the media.
Okay, any questions?
Can anybody comment on how the rain's affecting things?
Thanks for the question, really, about how's the rain affecting things. And first and foremost, the rain is fantastic for people to collect rainwater in barrels, in your rain barrels, and other containers to water your plants, shrubs, when it stops raining. And we've seen the water demand and use go down. And so it's fantastic for the water system and for Calgarians, for lawns all across the city. With respect to construction, the teams continue to work 24/7 through the rain. As we mentioned, the rain may impact paving coming up on 16th Avenue and 33rd Avenue, but we're understanding it will end tonight, and if it does, we'll be out paving as soon as we can.
Any other questions?
Yeah, just a question. Through this whole process and just some of the things that we've learned, your story with even the botanical gardens about like how we can use water in different ways. After all this is done, is the city going to kind of look at maybe perhaps some of the things that they've had to do in this process, and now, hey, instead of going back to now this way, why don't we keep adopting some of the things that we have learned through this whole process?
I'm happy to start and then see if anyone else wants to add in, but definitely we are doing lessons learned coming out of this situation. I've talked about the forensic analysis with respect to pipes. We'll be doing lessons learned about how we responded to this situation, and we're learning how we are using water as a city. We've reduced our water use throughout this time as well, and so we'll continue to apply those learnings as we go forward. And working with our industrial customers, we've heard from numerous people that they've learned how to reduce water, and they're looking at it going forward as a way to save money, as well as we can reduce water together and also save some money. But I'll see if anyone else wants to add anything to that.
Got one more question here. Why isn't flushing the pipe necessary? Earlier this week, you said new isolation valves were installed. Did that not require that the pipe was opened?
Thanks for the question. So really around why won't we be doing significant flushing like we did last time? And so again, we have a longer length of pipe this time, and we really only opened it up in one small spot where we were conducting some valve repairs. Last time we opened it up in a number of spots, and it had failed in a catastrophic way. So we had to make sure that we really flushed that pipe out to ensure that it was clean and able to go back into service. We'll be doing testing of the water as we had done before. That's the testing of the water to ensure it's safe. That is our first and foremost effort all the time, is to ensure we're providing safe, clean, and healthy drinking water for Calgarians. So please rest assured that the water will be safe when we turn the pipe back on.
And just to follow up on that too, I mean, it happened, and we're in the process of now fixing the pipe. Will we know at one point what the cost to the city was because of what happened on June 6th?
So the question was really around what's the cost to the city. I'd reported earlier that the cost to repair the initial feeder main break plus the 5 hotspots we estimated to be in the $20 to $25 million range, excluding any lost revenues to the city. We're compiling what the costs are to repair these 21 segments, as well as the 2 segments that we still have to repair on Crowchild Trail coming up, or near Crowchild Trail coming up. We're compiling what we believe those cost estimates will be, and we'll share those in the coming days.
And the last one, we know there's thousands of miles of pipe underneath the city, and that's just the infrastructure that needs to be there to get water to everybody. And this type of pipe that broke is about 180 kilometers of this type of concrete pipe. If I remember my numbers from some of the other press conferences. As we move forward, and are we looking now at a process now like, hey, let's start checking the other pipe from that era to make sure that something like this doesn't happen again?
So the question is really around our inspections around our infrastructure. And so, as we've talked about in the past, we have over 5,000 kilometers of water pipe beneath Calgary that's serving Calgarians. The specific type of pipe, there's 186 kilometers of this pre-stressed concrete cylindrical pipe, and of this specific specification is really this feeder main section that we're working on right now. So of this specific piece and type of pipe, we have inspected it. We did that entire inspection with the pipe diver back at the start of July, and so we've got good data on the status of this pipe. You may remember I've indicated that we've increased our inspection looking for leaks across the city. Typically we were doing 200 kilometers a year. This year we will inspect over 1,000 kilometers looking for leaks across the city. So that's 1/5 of our entire system. We're also increasing inspection of all of our critical infrastructure, looking for other potential issues, and we're dedicated to making sure that we don't run into a situation like this again.
Any remaining questions? All right, we will see you tomorrow at the Water Center at 2 p.m.
Thank you.